set ready for their qualifying session, which is going to start about 10 minutes late. We've had a few dramas earlier on in the Formula Regionale World Cup qualifying for the Macau Grand Prix, but we're not far away from getting this last session of the day out on track. And all being well, it's going to run for half an hour, but they kind of let the side down a bit, Alan Hyde, earlier on with a couple of red flags.
Did they? I don't remember.
Do you not?
No.
No. Alan, I have to point out, is the self-appointed spokesperson for this championship, because he loves it, and quite right, because it's a great category and it's full of really enthusiastic local drivers.
And they've got the lights on as well, because we have diminishing lights here at Macau now as we get to local time, just approaching 5 minutes to 5, and we have half an hour of qualifying for the Motorsport Challenge. And yes, I do. I absolutely love the local championships. They're very much the heartbeat of this event. There's so many international, big, important international races over the course of this weekend, which raises the bar for all of the local support races that we have, of which the Macau Motorsport Challenge is one of them. And look at what they do. They raise their game. They present their cars in beautiful, bright colours and thoughtful liveries for this weekend. It is the chance that very, very good drivers, you have to be a good driver to be allowed to race here in one of the races supporting the Macau Grand Prix. And they really do raise the bar for this highlight of their racing year.
And there is drama already on an outlap. We've got a very mangled car already that heads up the escape road. That is Vincent Yip, and he's going to try to get the car back to the pit lane. First of all, he's got to do a U-turn up the escape road, but on an outlap, to be doing things like that is just not good, is it, to say the very least. Poor old Vincent Yip then with damage. Everybody else tries to get round to start a flying lap, and let's hope there's no debris or liquid down on the road.
I think there might be a bit of debris, having looked at the bits of flapping car on the run down towards the stoppage for the car, and that is very disappointing for Vincent Yip, Hong Kong driver in a Toyota. What we have in road sports now are two makes of car and two types of car, Toyotas and Subarus, and GR86s or BRZs for the Subarus. So we have a full grid as well. It's always a very interesting entry. If you have a look at road sports over the years, it always garners a huge entry for this as one of the ever-present support races for the Macau Grand Prix. And we've got drivers that compete year after year after year and are quick around the gear circuit year after year after year as well. And they obviously attract local sponsors, and those sponsors that all of a sudden find themselves on a world stage, live streaming on YouTube and various television channels around the world, take so much of the broadcast sports for the weekend here at Macau, and it's a great opportunity for a sponsor to really be emblazoned on a road sports car here for an entire 4 days if you want.
So Adrian Chung is the first one to go on to a flying lap. And I don't think that Vincent Yip has got going again actually from the escape road, so he's already put himself in jeopardy of being on the back row of the grid, unless he can get the car fired up and join in a bit later.
It's that unfortunate thing, isn't it? You wait and you wait for the start of the session, and then eventually when you get going, you have to remember the tyres are cold. They need to go through the heat cycle and warm up, and unfortunately things not going quite right for Vincent Yip on that opening lap. Right, you're looking at the 15 car. That's the red and white car, and it unfortunately has come to grief already. A hit on the left-hand side of the car, and so early on in this session, grief has come to not one but two cars already.
Right, who was that we lost?
Number 15.
So that's Wang Shangwan.
It is. And that's Subaru, a damaged Subaru already. Damon Chan, meanwhile, was the one putting in the overall best sectors. So overall best in Sector 1, overall best in Sector 2 as well for Damon Chan. Car number 21.
Now, the end of the free practice session was a bit unsatisfactory, wasn't it, with two stoppages in quick succession, but it was Adrian Chung, number 11, who was the fastest from Chan Kar Ping and Damon Chan, 2:46 being the gun time.
And Damon Chan is straight away from the outset putting in personal best, overall best sectors. So purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2, purple in sector 3 for the number 21 car of Damon Chan.
All right, this is the replay of what happened. Almost a Vantor, but clanging off the barrier on the side. That spits the car across the road. But the good news is it didn't spin. It might have had a big impact, but at least it didn't then spin across the road, because I think it would have been a much, much bigger accident. So that was Wang Shang Yuan at least getting away with that. One car we need to keep an eye on and see if we can find it is number 16 of Rui Valente. That was a car that had a lot of damage on its first flying lap of the earlier session.
Yep, Rui Valente in 2024 came 7th, qualified 7th and raced to 7th as well in the Road Sport Challenge. There was there were two races for Road Sports last year, Road Sport Challenge and the Road Sport Establishment Cup as well. And Damon Chan is going to go top, and does. So overall best in 4 out of the 5 sectors, 2:45.371. So that's the benchmark time for everybody else. Now, despite the fact we've had 2 cars off and damaged, we've been able to keep going, which is really, really good news.
Oh dear, he's at it again, tempting fate. So yeah, Damon Chan the fastest, and it is Adrian Chung now second. Looks as though number 15 has got going again. That's going up the escape road. No argument. Straight on goes Damon Chan. So he kind of got suckered into that, didn't he, by needing to be the last of the late breakers. And he's now somewhere. There he is. Returns up the escape road, back on track, somewhat red-faced. He just done the absolute best within the first sector. No surprise, really, because he hasn't got anywhere near the brake pedal.
Yeah, and it's an unusual sight that we've got the blinding headlights as they come towards the camera, because the light level doesn't normally get this low quite so early, does it? It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it is early evening sort of light in the sky at the moment. That's why we've got the headlights ablazing, and Adrian Chung has not only topped the times this morning in free practice, but has now gone purple, so overall best in sectors 1 and 2. Damon Chan is not going to improve this lap, is he? With that moment down the escape road, it's cost him 11 seconds or thereabouts on sector 2. So Adrian Chung has got a lap in which he can really show what he can do, which was what he did in free practice this morning. So purple in sector 1, purple in sector 2, and personal best in sector 3 for Adrian Chung. Car number 11. Looking at the number 14 car, and that's the car of Lopak Yu in his Toyota.
And Adrian Chung trying to rebuild his laps, because now he's doing absolute best. He may have been knocked off the top spot by the effervescent Damon Chan, but he's going to be good at the end of this. So there is the understated livery adorning Adrian Chung's car. He comes up now towards the timing line. His is one of the Toyota GR86s, as against the other faction, the Subaru BRZs. And as he comes up to almost the end of the first third of qualifying, Adrian Chung should put himself now at the top of the times. Number 11 comes past the pits, breaks the beam, and Adrian Chung goes fastest on a 2:44.479, so nicely done.
I think it looks gorgeous, that car. It is, as you say, it's understated and very, very smart indeed. A lot of thought goes into how these cars are going to be presented for this very important week in motorsport in this region of the world. And 10 out of 10 for that livery. Particularly when you've got so many cars that are all the same. You've got Toyotas or Subarus. What are we going to do with this? If you've got a blank canvas, to come up with an interesting and unusual design is a fairly unique experience for this event. And they do it. They do it so superbly every single year.
And if you're wondering why people keep putting the hazard lights on, they don't. It's just that these are in road spec. So as soon as you stand on the brakes for a corner, it puts the car into the sort of anti-panic mode that they have on the road. And so the hazard lights come on as a warning to those around that there's heavy braking going on.
I don't think my car's ever done that.
No. Not deliberately, anyway. So, yeah, you're right about the light fading. The light's getting ever brighter in the cars in the background. And here, charging on towards us, number 24, that is Chun Yuan. On the run out of Mandarin down now towards Lisboa. The third of the session done.
Adrian Chung is not done here, is he?
No.
So not only goes top of the times, but also, well, for a little while was overall best in sectors 1 and 2. But Damon Chan has done better this time on sector 2. So they are trading overall best sectors, Adrian Chung and Damon Chan. Adrian Chung has gone overall best in Sector 1. Damon Chan, overall best in Sector 2.
We've just had a very good lap put in by Lu Long Yin, number 6, to go fourth fastest. He is. Just going out of shot. So Lu Long Yin, nicely done. Up to fourth, up to fifth earlier. Chung Chun Yun, and he's not done yet. And Carlson Tang also has gone up to seventh. So he's another of the improvers as we nudge towards halfway now.
Carlson Tang, 13th in the Road Sport Establishment Cup last year, and one of the regulars competing in the support races for the Macau Grand Prix. Looking at Lu Long Yin in the Monkey Racing Toyota. Not qualified in the Establishment Cup last year, but qualified in third place last year. Just under 19 minutes of the session remain, and although Adrian Chung came out of the blocks and was going really quickly, has not improved in Sector 3, not even a personal best, or in Sector 4. So with one sector left for Adrian Chung and one sector left for Damon Chan, let's see if there's going to be an improvement in either of their times. I fancy maybe not on this occasion. Pit in for Adrian Chung, so that's the answer. So although went overall best in Sector 1, now heads into pit lane, does Adrian. And Damon Chan, let's see what he does. Keeps going, but not an improvement on that last lap. Improvement for Lu Long Yin on that last lap, and also for the 96 car, and that's the car of Jankin Sang in the SS Racing Team Subaru. Second in the Establishment Cup Road Sport race last year, and gets himself up the order in number 96 to third in the order.
More drama, more tyre smoke, and is that a mechanical drama or has somebody bounced off the barrier? Either way, it's very smoky. I think the car has hit the wall and has ground to a halt heading down the hill away from maternity. So let's see. That's going to be a stoppage, I fear, if that car can't be removed from the circuit. The smoke is settling, and there is a lot of smoke. Now, you know, it's starting to wonder whether it was mechanical after all. Let's have a look. This is coming into San Francisco, and there, yeah, no, that's mechanical, isn't it? That's not damage. That's somebody up at maternity who's got a big, big problem.
And the car has come to a stop now.
Yeah,
and it's in a tricky place.
It is. It's down the hill, and of course, it's away from a crane. Red flag.
Yeah, not surprised. So just under 17 minutes left on this session, and the cars will head into pit lane.
And that is our 15th red flag of day one, from memory. So we'll try and work out who it is that's caused the stoppage in a moment.
Exceptional memory you have.
I thought you might say that. And we'll try and also double check whether they're going to get the full distance, because we are getting a bit close now to 6 o'clock. I know there's only 16 minutes to go, but we also have to factor in the time it takes to remove the car.
Also factoring in the light factor as well. And I'm not sure we have necessarily particularly tinted windows looking out, but it certainly does look as if it's as dark as I remember to be racing around the gear circuit. So it's in no small part down to the fact that for most part of this afternoon we've had a bit of cloud cover, haven't we?
Yeah.
We saw sunshine around about midday, and there was a brief period, maybe an hour or thereabouts, when we did have nice sunshine. But for the rest of the morning and the afternoon today, for day one of the 72nd Macau Grand Prix, we've had it's been a little overcast, pretty much a cloud cover in an area that is normally pretty humid, because the temperatures are up for this time of the year. They are sort of around 20, early 20s, mid 20s, would be probably an average temperature, but the humidity is normally sort of hovering around 75, 80, 85% humidity, which is can be a bit sticky, can't it?
Yeah, very true. Doesn't affect our local drivers who've done their championship season all at the Guangdong circuit, and the Road Sport Challenge actually finished in May. They only got 2 races in April, 2 races in May, and then they're free to go do other types of racing if they so desire, but then they all, the top 34 point scorers, allowed to come and do the invitation race here.
Plenty of time to prepare their liveries for the Grand Prix.
Yes, that's absolutely the case, which is why it's such a shame if you then end up with a damaged car. So
it is massively.
Down the pit road they start to come.
And some are still coming into pit lane, aren't they? So it is a long lap, 6 kilometre circuit here at Macau, and takes a little while to get everybody into pit lane.
And this is where you start to lose the time. You know, the actual recovery can be a minute or so sometimes, but it's all of this, getting people in and then releasing the cars onto an outlet where you start to really struggle. However, it is an extra street circuit, and as you rightly say, a long street circuit. Macau, as Emanuele Pirro said last year, it's not meant to be easy here. It's very true. Right, so the final few coming into position.
Adrian Chung, it is that tops the times at 2:44.479 is the quickest time so far. Damon Chan is second quickest, car number 21. Won the Establishment Cup Road Sports race last year, did Damon Chan. And Adrian Chung, car number 11, finished in 4th place, just off the podium. So it won the previous year, one of the 2 races that we had in the 70th anniversary Road Sports races. Looking at car number 90, this is a chance for drivers to say hello to the wider world, wave to the camera, Nancy Hua in the Mogan Team Track Day King Toyota.
Right, there is the car to be recovered, and incident team there as well. Fire extinguisher, so maybe there is some oil that's spilt out. This, I've got a feeling, might be a rather longer stop. It might be that the track needs a bit of treatment as well.
Yep.
And looking at the back of the car, trying to pick out a number, which on our small monitors is not terribly easy. Apologies. Everybody else, I think, now should be in the pit lane. Adrian Chung not being shown as in. Oh, there are still 1 or 2 more that haven't clicked over the beam.
I think it finishes with 3.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah. But what I thought it said isn't on the entry list.
No.
As it's 93, Chung Poi Lam. Yeah, it is, because Lam didn't get to sector 3. So Chung Poi Lam, I reckon, 93, is the driver that's caused the stoppage. And the session will be resumed on short call. We're aiming for 4 minutes' time. There's number 61 of Aris Sang. Many of the drivers take a sort of Western first name. So Aris Sang drives number 61. So we'll go down the pit lane. This is where Alan can get excited about different liveries again.
They've got a day off tomorrow. They don't compete tomorrow. The next thing they do around the gear circuit will be on Saturday morning, 10:25 in the morning, and that's when the heat rises for the road sports. And they get to race 9 laps, I think it is, on Saturday. Yep, 9-lap race on Saturday morning. And it's qualification races mainly on Saturday here at Macau, and then the big races on Sunday. Greater Bay Area is the GT Cup race, is the local race, which is on the timetable for Sunday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. So first race of the day for the GT4 cars, and a chance now for a few drivers. Yu Yi Hao just saying hi to the wider world, and then Carson Tang, 13th in the Establishment Cup race last year, gets a chance to smile and wave and give a big thumbs up to the cameras. That's quite a tradition for the local drivers, isn't it? As the camera team make their way down the cars down in pit lane.
22 is Bayern Yip. Yip Wei, and then number 13 also getting ready to go back out into the session. Campbell Fung on the Auto Wonderland car. That's quite a long way down the order early on in the day. Camera looms in. Right, the course car is back in. So we were told it was going to be a resumption on short notice, and we're aiming for within a minute. The klaxon sounds in the pit lane, and 1 minute confirmed, so 1 minute to go. Where out of all of this has Geronimo Badaraco got to? 9th in the times, isn't he?
Badaraco, who was second in 2024 in this race, qualified on pole position. Geronimo Badaraco having a good weekend last year here at Macau, and finishing up second on the podium, qualifying on pole position. Car number 28 currently down there in 9th place. Macau driver is Geronimo Badaraco. You've got drivers from largely Hong Kong and Macau, but also from Chinese Taipei and China as well. So drivers from all of the local regions represented here for the Macau Road Sport Challenge, with the green flag being shown. So the clock starts to count down.
Yeah, gets on with it now. Very hesitant was Wang Chunpan, who really should have been the first in the queue, and I think they'd looked right and saw others moving and panicked.
Yeah, I think I would have done the same. Everybody else looming down and wanting to get straight back out on circuit. That was, yeah, I think he did the right thing. Hit the brakes, let them all go. We've got plenty of time. 16 minutes.
Right, okay.
It'll be fine.
Right.
There are a lot of cars, aren't there?
Yes, but you want to be at the front, not mired in traffic.
Or let them all go, do half a lap, then you can be at the front of your own race.
Okay. Lights reflecting on the tarmac then as the cars arrive at Lisboa, and a variety of lines being employed. So far so good, everyone's made it through the corner. So we started with 16 minutes and change on the clocks, whittling away as the session carries on now.
Adrian Chung is top of the times, car number 11, 2:44.479. They now need to get all the tyres back up to temperature, get everything back up to working temperature, operating temperature, and then think about trying to better their previous laps. 2:44.479 for Adrian Chung, car number 11. Just off the podium last year and won a race in 2023 here at Macau. And now the problem is going to be, you see, hanging back is a good thing to do, because now they're all in traffic and they're all going to have difficulty getting a clear lap.
Yes, but he would have been first out. He would not have been in traffic. He'd have been at the head of the queue.
I'm trying to defend an action.
Oh, okay, all right.
Not awfully well.
Now, the two champions out of the two groups, because there's Group A and Group 2. No, Group B. Champion 1, Lo Pak Yo, is currently 8th in the times, and our other champion, who is Chen Kin Sang, is 3rd. So both of them, in theory, would be a bit higher up the order.
They certainly should, but we haven't really got into a swing, have we? We've had, 3 or 4 flying laps in total after getting the session underway, and then that interruption with the red flag. So now we're involved in getting heat back into the tyres and getting things back up to speed, and the ever-decreasing light levels as well. If things continue to run, we're going to be finishing at around about 25 to 6, and at 6 o'clock the circuit is back open again to everyday traffic until tomorrow morning. The normal activities, the buses and the cars and the bikes and the vans that you see in the background of so many of our shots here at Macau that prove that normal life goes on at Macau. Just walking into the circuit this morning, I got a really good feeling of what Macau is all about, because we walked past one of the hotels, and there was a small family waiting outside one of the hotels, and 2 little boys and mum and dad were just at the steps of the hotel. I don't think coming to watch the Grand Prix. I think they were there for whatever reason they may have been there, because the excitement as the motorcycles came past for the first time. If you've ever seen the viral video of a little boy enjoying MotoGP bikes going past for the first time, and his almost Wallace and Gromit excitement with his hands, that was what we experienced this morning. It was so lovely to see. What this weekend brings to Macau is unique to Macau.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And that's the great thing about street races. You know, they're effectively on your doorstep.
Indeed.
Underneath your doorstep,
yes.
In some cases.
Yeah.
You've got one of the apartments that overlooks the track. Take racing to the people. Now there, number 14 is Lo Pak Yu, one of our 2 group champions this year. 12.5 minutes are on the clock. So we're trying to encourage him a little bit higher up the order.
And by the way, I don't think Dad was too worried about how excited his 2 boys were. He just went straight over to the barrier, started taking photographs.
Fantastic.
So we've got an overall best for Damon Chan in Sector 3, overall best in Sector 1 for Adrian Chung. He's top of the times, and a personal best in Sector 2. So this really is working out to be a fight between the two of them for supremacy in this qualifying session, as indeed it was during FP1 earlier on this morning. But now it becomes a little bit more important. This is going to set the grid for their only other time on the circuit this weekend, when they race over 9 laps on Saturday.
And Adrian Chung and Damon Chan are trading sector times. They're trading the top time at the moment. We've got 11.5 minutes on the clock. And here, with clear real estate, is number 21. So Damon Chan comes through Fisherman's, gets a little bit wide, but I don't think that's done him any real harm. He has been able to get clear track space. So being out on your own, good thing. Comes down towards our bend. And Damon Chan flicks the car through the corner, comes out the other side, up to the timing line, and goes fastest of all. 2:44.364 for Damon Chan, and that was with only one purple sector on that lap. One personal best, one overall best, and that was in sectors 3 and 4. Critical sectors to put in a quick lap, and it all strung together and worked out very nicely for number 21, Damon Chan, winner last year in the Establishment Cup Road Sport race, and takes for the time being provisional pole. 2:44.364. And a third of the session still remains now, as the next group of cars comes out of Mandarin down towards Lisboa. Just going over the timing line has gone number 24, that being Jung Jung Yoon. And waiting to see if there's going to be an improvement on this next lap from Damon Chan. No, in Sector 1 is the answer. And Adrian Chung is about to get to the end of the first sector and will give us an idea as to whether he can improve the lap time or not. The answer is no, he can't, because he's actually bailed. He's in the pits, so he's not been able to get another lap in. So Chan Kin-sang is going to be the one to keep an eye on, number 96, see if he can improve from currently where he is third in the times.
Because Damon Chan has continued and hasn't improved on Sectors 1 or Sector 2. Maybe this is getting ready for the next lap to be a quick lap, or maybe this is going to be into pit lane at the end of this one as well, like Adrian Chung, who is in second place currently and down in pit lane. So keeping an eye on the 96 car on the timing screen. That's the car of 96 of Chan Kin-sang, currently third place, 2:51.426. It's quite a way off the provisional pole time, isn't it? 1.9 seconds. The gap. The top two are so close together, Adrian Chung and Damon Chan.
But what we've always had out of the road sports, since they certainly made the switch to this two-make series, is very good racing, because normally everybody finds a playmate, whether you're at the front or in the middle or towards the back. There's always somebody of your pace.
Super racing, and even better post-race celebrations. The joy that we get from these drivers is just spectacular year after year. I absolutely love it. You can feed off the energy that is of a driver that gets to the podium here at Macau.
The other aspect of this, I know you touched on the liveries, and yes, the presentation is impressive, but so too the preparation. I know that motorsport has really boomed in this area over the last 20-25 years, but you know, these aren't raggy old cars. These are all a lot to shame.
Proper race cars.
In Europe,
really well prepared.
Well prepared, well presented. They're good teams operating them with professional-looking teams, all in garage clothing, but branded clothing. You know, these aren't. It does not give the impression of being an amateur category.
No, you're right. Absolutely right. It's a really important race, this.
Yeah. A bit worried about Adrian Chung sitting in the pit lane. Now, whether he feels that he's done enough and it's okay to keep a bit of life in the tyres for the race tomorrow from the front row, wait and see, because he's got over a second in hand. But even so, it's been a good effort, that.
Really good, as we looked briefly there at the number 19 car, which has moved up the order. One of the few cars that has, on that last lap, moved up to fifth place for car number 19, Wong Chok Pan in the Toyota. 8th place in the Establishment Cup Road Sport race last year.
And he was the one that was reticent to go out, wasn't he, at the start of the session, but we got him away in the end. It was up to 5th. So
like I said, it will work out in the end. You just be patient. You wait and see.
All right, well, can you encourage Low Pack U for me? Because the champion out of Group A is currently
down the order
10th.
Yeah, and was 9th, so he's dropping down the order. Improvement on that last lap for the number 72 car, and that's the car of Leung Keng Hae in the Spark Racing Subaru. competed in the GT4 category, so the Greater Bay Area GT Cup last year, and came in 7th place, switching over to road sports for this year. And Damon Chan has just put in a purple, so overall best sector in sector 3. It's only one of the critical sectors to providing an improvement on time. So Damon Chan, 33.4 in the middle sector. Car number 21, currently top of the times, sitting on provisional pole. 6 minutes just over of this session remain.
And as you're looking at number 2, which is the car of Carson Tang, out of our window there is a dead car park growing with now 2 damaged cars that have been brought back, and just under 6 minutes of the session to go. There you can see Carson Tang getting a bit caught up in traffic at the not ideal part of the racetrack. The one that's ahead of him is of Geronimo Badaraco, who has threatened to deceive in this. He's only 13th in the times.
Some years we've had really great performances from Geronimo Badaraco, and some years maybe a little bit more average. And this so far today seems to be one of those years. We are waiting for an improvement for the provisional pole time. We get it. Damon Chan, 2:43, 2:42. Overall best in sectors 3, 4 and 5. Beautifully stitched together for the second half of the lap, and that all goes together to make an advantage over Adrian Chung, who remains in pit lane of 1.2 seconds. I think Damon Chan could be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, although it's only half the battle. He's then got to do it in the race, hasn't he? And Adrian Chung, by not going out again, has either got a big problem or has got big confidence, because he's done far fewer laps, and therefore the rubber might be that bit fresher for race day. However, time will tell as to whether that's been the right plan or whether he's got a problem, because the ventured back out again. There is 79, that being Lee Kwok Sun. And that is a car currently in 16th in the order, having improved last time around.
One of the brightest cars of all, that the number of the purple and pink liveried car is very, very eye-catching. Doesn't need headlights at this time of day. 2:43, 2:42, the provisional pole time for Damon Chan, car number 21. And Adrian Chung, there must be a reason why with was it something like 6 minutes to go, Adrian Chung came into pit lane and has not returned.
I'm not sure he's been out since the resumption of the session.
I think you might be right, yeah.
And like I say, he's either got a problem or he's looking after tyres.
I think tyres might be the answer, and happy to be on a front row start. Some 1.2 seconds off the provisional pole time for Damon Chan.
This is Chan Kin Sang there, the Group B champion, and he's got himself now 4th, because Wang Chuk Pan got ahead of him on his previous lap. Wang Chuk Pan might have been a bit reticent coming out of the pit lane, but he's not reticent on the track, because he's chipping away, and he's now down a 2:45.7. But right now, Damon Chan's in a class of his own, isn't he? Over a second to the good, and first to third, he's nearly 2.5 seconds.
Second on the podium last year was Chan Kin Sang in the Establishment Cup race for the road sports cars. And with Damon Chan on provisional pole, less than 3 minutes we have remaining. And we're looking at the number 21 car that sits on provisional pole. He's got the 79 car directly in front of him. That's the car of Lee Kwok Chun in the Toyota. All the way down the road, and Damon Chan doesn't really need to push that much in the number 21 car. In fact, I reckon might be coming into pit lane now with the job done for this session. 2 minutes just over of the qualifying session remaining, and as the clock finally counts down, there are still some that are really pushing on, aren't there, to improve their positions.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, this is a different type of qualifying session from let's say, the Macau Grand Prix single-seaters, because these are amateur drivers who, the more driving they do, get better. These are tyres that are designed to go for a longer distance. You know, they are designed to see you through a race meeting. Okay, you want to keep them as fresh as you can, but they don't have a narrow window like the race tyre did for Formula Regional, I should say, did. And so, yeah, it is worth persevering. And of course, when you're an amateur racer, the more you do, the more confident you get. You find a 10th here and a 10th there, and you add them together, and then that motivates you to go harder on the next lap. So you're absolutely right, it is worth staying out. Plus, these are drivers that have paid their entry fees and they want to enjoy themselves. And why wouldn't you? Good cars, great circuit.
You only get 2 days of the year that you can drive on the gear circuit here at Macau, so let's make the most of it. We've got the number 90 car which has stopped, and that's the car of Siwa in the Mogan Team Track Day King car.
That's at Lisboa Escape Road, isn't it?
Trying to return itself to the circuit. It's got a better turning circle than the TCR thoroughbred racing machines, and gets turned around in one time of asking. So that car will get back on circuit less than 1 minute for our final session of the day. One cool thing about television camera technology, even when it's dark, it makes things look a little bit lighter than it is. If we look out the window, it's early evening now, isn't it?
It is.
Really diminishing light. I don't really remember it being quite so dark for the end of a day here at Macau. I'm sure it has been, but
your memory's going.
I don't remember it.
No, quite. And you can tell it's dark because of the fact that the lights are now like they're reflected off the road so much. So we're into the final few seconds. The checker flag is imminent, and Damon Chan has been the absolute dominant driver of that session, and he is going to end it by over a second faster than anybody else for provisional pole position.
Checker flag brings down the checker flag to our first day of action here at Macau. Damon Chan, by 1.2 seconds, takes provisional pole ahead of Adrian Chung in car number 11. 2:43, 2:42 the provisional pole time, and 2:44, 4:79 the outside of the front row of the grid. Wang Chengpan in car number 19 finished up in third place, and Chen King Sang, top Macau driver, on the outside of provisionally row 2. So that's our final track action of the day. Less than half an hour away from seeing buses and taxis and road cars and mopeds all using this circuit as the regular means of getting around Macau. And now Macau becomes a unique place. The lights go on, and once again the gear circuit here at Macau are the normal roads of Macau, which is just so totally unique.
And in the darkness with all the lights, it just looks completely different. I hesitate to use the phrase Jekyll and Hyde in your company, but it does kind of have this split personality, doesn't it? There's
it does.
What it looks like in the daylight, what it looks like at night. Checkered flag being vigorously waved at everybody as they come up towards the line. So the last few cars come by, and Damon Chan, yes, by far and away the man of the day as far as the Road Sport Challenge is concerned. Tomorrow, as Alan's been saying, the Road Sports don't venture out, but the day starts at 7:45 with the Espresso Trophy, otherwise known as qualifying for the Motorcycle Grand Prix. And once the bikes are done and the circuit can be, or the circuit furniture, if you like, the safety barriers can be modified for car racing, then it's cars for the rest of the day. And it will start with the Formula 4 second free practice session, and then we build up towards qualifying. No racing tomorrow, but from Saturday onwards we're into the qualifying races. There's another car that's ground to a halt there. Look at it. Okay, hopefully without too much damage. But it's been a long day, as ever the first day is. More track action today than on any other day, but stoppages aside, we've had lots of drama, and I think Formula Regional qualifying and FP for the GT cars, highlights of the day.
Yes, our appetite is certainly whetted for the next 3 days. Super action as ever. It's a privilege to see cars and bikes racing around the streets of Macau on the gear circuit.